Do 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 bum 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 bum. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kat. I know it's already kind of late into the fall season, but I figured I would do a fall DIY video. Most of these DIYs are actually usable throughout like Thanksgiving season, you know, up until the Christmas season. I mean, you could even keep some of these up for Christmas. It's up to you. So yeah, I have, I think, 6 DIYs for you, and I hope you enjoy them. This video would have been up a lot sooner, but as you guys may know, I have been working on Inktober videos. That has been taking up a lot of my time. Okay, without further ado, let's get into the DIYs. Welcome to the voiceover. Just want to warn you guys, during my voiceover, there may be some noise from outside because the high school nearby is having like a football game and there's a plane that keeps circling overhead. So, yay. So this first DIY that I have for you is a leaf garland. It's super easy. I'm just using an old book, some rope, and some thread, and some maple leaves from the dollar store. So you could have all of these things on hand if you keep these things around, I guess. All I'm doing for this is I'm drawing out the shape of a leaf on one of the pages of the books. And I'm doing that several times, slightly bigger than the maple leaf so that you can see the book underneath the maple leaf. And I do also have some larger leaves to go underneath the book pages, so I'm essentially just layering. It goes large leaf, book page, and then the small leaf on top of that. So after you trace the leaf onto the book page, go ahead and cut that out. And then I'm using a hot glue gun just to attach all of those together. The only thing I'm using the thread for is to attach the largest leaf, which is like a burlap type of texture, which I also got from the Dollar Tree. So I'm using it to attach the leaf to the rope. And that's more secure than just using hot glue, so I prefer that method. And then I just hot glue the other parts. And then for a little bit of variation in between the larger leaves with the 3 layers, I'm putting some smaller leaves with only 2 layers with sparkly maple leaves, so like shimmery or shiny or gold. And then I'm putting that on the book paper without the back because I ran out of the big leaves. But I'm using the same exact method. Then when you're going to attach this, you can use command hooks, or you can nail it to the wall or to the shelf or whatever you want. But I think command hooks are better because they don't leave any residue and you don't have to ruin the thing you're putting them on. So this next DIY is just a regular old sign, but instead of making your own base, they have some at the dollar store and they're actually pretty decent quality. That's why I decided to go with that. They've got a place to hang it up on the back and everything, so you don't have to do anything. You just have to paint it or put a decal on it. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm gonna paint it white and then paint a little quote on it. And it's funny because I just went to Five Below today and they actually have some signs that look very similar to this one. So I guess I saved myself like $4. I didn't show this, but I painted 3 coats of the white with gold sparkles. It gave the white paint a slightly iridescent look that I really, really like. This next DIY I included because I'm getting ready to decorate a little bit more just before Halloween. And all you need for this is however many books you want to decorate. So you need some books, you need some hot glue, you need some other materials if you want to create some sort of texture. I'm using twine other than just the hot glue. And then I am covering one book with paper to give it like a leathery feel once it dries. So with this DIY, you want to start with the hot glue and gluing other things to it. You can make all sorts of textures and designs with the hot glue, as well as writing words out. Then I'm going to add my paper to some of those books and the twine for some of the letters, just to create a more spooky look, like it's falling apart a little bit more. And then once those are all dry, I'm just going in with a brown paint as a base. I did 2 or 3 coats of those, depending on the color of the book and everything like that. And then to make it look a little bit older or like it's dirty, I'm adding some dry brushed black paint over top. And then I'm gonna seal all that in with some Mod Podge. I did only have glossy, but I would highly suggest using matte. If you're gonna try this at home, definitely try the matte Mod Podge. The next DIY is a fall wreath, and this is just a normal thing, you know, a lot of people make wreaths, but I wanted to share this one with you because I decided to do something a little different with my twine. I'm wrapping it around the entire form of the wreath just to give it a different kind of look. I've never done anything like this before with a wreath, and I make a wreath every single season. Like, I made a wreath for summer. Anyways, so I'm just wrapping the entire thing in twine by gluing the twine to the form. It's a metal form, but it seems to stick pretty well. And then I'm gluing it to itself once it's wrapped up enough, and that makes it really secure. Once all the twine is in place, I started gluing on all the flowers and the leaves. I also had a few pumpkins that I put in there. And I'm just using hot glue for that as well. The twine makes a really good base for the hot glue because it sinks into the twine. So it makes it hard for the things to fall off. Second to last DIY is a fall centerpiece. This is perfect for people that have animals that tend to eat any plants, which mine do, or if you don't want to worry about replacing sunflowers over and over again, this is a good alternative, I think. So I'm starting off with this vase that I found at Target. It was on sale and I really like the way it looks, but I thought it needed a little bit more something, you know? So I'm just gluing some ribbon onto it and then I'm gonna wrap some twine around it. Can you guys tell that I've been on a twine kick lately? Or I guess macrame or rope or whatever you wanna refer to it as. And then once you're done with your vase, you can arrange the flowers inside of them. I get a lot of my flowers and fake plants from the dollar store. You can also get a ton of other stuff there right now. They have a whole bunch of new craft items, including some rope, just like this that I'm using. But I didn't get mine there. I've had mine for a really long time. So I'm using sunflowers, lavender sprigs, and a few other types of flowers in this. It almost looks more like a bouquet of flowers from a ditch, but that's not a bad thing because I personally love the way the flowers look when they grow wild in the ditches. So this last DIY is probably my favorite of all times. I've been making these little pumpkins for about 4 years now, ever since my nephew was born, because they're so child friendly. A child can pick them up and play with them and even throw them without any repercussions where they get hurt. So if you have kids, try this DIY. The things that I'm using are sweater material. You can use any sort of material in this DIY. Then I'm also using some twine for the ridges of the pumpkin, some thread to close the top and bottom, some polyester stuffing, and some little tiny logs that I found at the dollar store. I normally use just the twine to create the stem, but I think I like the log better, and they're so cheap. You can just get them at the dollar store or make them yourself. But who has time to go look for sticks, am I right? Anyways, so you want to start by sealing off the bottom, and you just do that by like threading your needle through all of the sides and pulling it together. And I just kind of, like, there's no pattern to this. I just sew back and forth until I'm sure that there's no hole left, so none of the stuffing can fall out. Then you want to put some of the stuffing in and then start sealing the top the same way. Seal off the top completely before you move on to the next step, which is to wrap the twine around the pumpkin. I do this usually about 6 times, depending on the size of your pumpkin or how many ridges you want. And then just tie that off at the top so that you can glue your log on to cover up the tied part. And then just to cover up some of that hot glue, I added some more twine around the base of the log. And that is that. That's how you make that pumpkin. I'm sharing a very big secret with you guys, okay? I've been selling these pumpkins, well, not a lot of them, but I've been selling some of them for a while, so I wanted to share this because they're super easy to make. So if you like these but you don't think that you can make them, you can check out my Etsy shop where I sell these pumpkins. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed these DIYs. And I did throw one in there that's perfect for Halloween, so that's always good. If you're planning on having a Halloween party, these books are perfect for it. I don't know if you can see them very well because it's not very well lit, but kind of blends in with the background. So if you decided to recreate any of these DIYs, I would absolutely love to see your creations as well. So you can follow me on Instagram and share them with me there. My Instagram is down below. Also, if you enjoy my artwork, I now have a Redbubble store that I'm working on getting new things into. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to see every time I upload. Do it, meow! Oh my gosh. I'm so dumb. In a good way.